Welcome. Welcome to you in all corners of the planet. I'm Sheila Cash, and I'm co-host of the Creatrix Convergence. I have been thinking of you over the months of co-creating this summit. In the midst of experiencing rich and meaningful conversations with women, about women, and all along knowing that each point that was made and each truth and each divulgence of our speakers' personal stories is going to touch you in some deep place inside. There have been tears, there have been laughs, there's been so much heart opening and so much inspiration along the way. And this is all about sparking the ideas that have been lying dormant in you, maybe for years. It's about igniting your own steps forward, coming into co-creation with others who are resonating as you are. As you have found yourself awakening moment by moment over the years, and have been feeling that calling to align your soul's mission with the people and the places and the things in this world. It is time. You've been waiting a lifetime for your next chapter. And here we are. You truly won't want to miss a thing, as there are great messages of inspiration waiting for you all day, every day this week. You're going to feel re-powerment in your gut sense, where that female intuition resides, and in your visions that are so naturally your birthright, and in your bones. We spoke with women from Australia and New Zealand, from France and the UK, from Japan and Jordan, India and Kenya, Mauritius and the Indian Ocean, and all over the US and Canada, and women who each have their own unique look and accent and speak different languages, but feel through our one heart community, are coming in to receive these speakers' messages and stories from all corners of the globe. This sisterhood is potent, and there's nothing that we can't do together. We have come together collectively here, and you are now a part of this collective field in consciousness. I'm so happy you're here. To introduce myself to those of you who don't know me, I'm an evolutionary catalyst, a new human master coach, and a feminine leader in conscious evolution for those who are ready to get the big picture. I'm a visionary of the interpersonal alignment to the global alignment to inspire whole spectrum living and leading. For the last 20 plus years, I've been facilitating circles of meditation and deeper consciousness, as well as 13 or more years of study and global immersion in the field of conscious evolution. And I've authored a couple of books, one of those with Jack Canfield, that looks at how our biggest picture fits the practical aspects of our lives, both individually and collectively. I mentored one-on-one with Barbara Marx Hubbard, profiling the new human in the years before her passing. And I've been a leader for many years, immersing into the rise of and the need for the original feminine in politics, in business, in boardrooms, in classrooms. In profiling the new human, the qualities of the new feminine genius arose organically. I facilitated many versions of deep mind-body integrations based on the science of epigenetics, as pioneered by Bruce Lipton, and have facilitated the balancing of the new feminine genius for every gender. In my superconscious think tank, we immerse into the finer and more practical points of where humanity is evolving to and what we can do to usher in the solutions. This level of skill building takes you deeper into the root causes of issues and into the world of solutions for the upliftment of humanity across this planet. This year, my co-host Liz Williams and I gathered an incredible ensemble of women doing this kind of valuable work in the fields on behalf of women. You are in for a treat all week long. So when I was growing up, the gender roles were crisply divided. I came of age when women still made coffee in the office, no matter their rank. Women were still spending their waking to sleeping hours in service to all of those around them, the children, the spouse, the schools, the religious organizations, the community events, the extended family, and whatever the neighbors might need. A huge amount of support wasn't there for moms. They were expected to do it all at the same time that families had begun to relocate to different parts of the country now instead of staying local. So whatever support had been there was now waning. But I began to see how women could heal those around them, could calm the world, how they were very natural peacemakers. They could pull balance out of thin air. While many were struggling, they were developing magnificent skills for wholeness. I have countless memories of women making peace. Women know how to make peace. Something our world at large, by the way, at the highest levels, could use more of these days. Out of their hands, I watched women send their barely grown children off to Vietnam. I've seen caskets come back home. And from the youngest age, I observed the women's wisdom and their sentience and their knowing and the nurturing that I knew could make the world more whole at a higher level. But abuse and oppression kept most silent. Their genius laid dormant. And as I grew older, I began studying the big picture of humanity. I felt great misalignment with the use of what the feminine had to offer and how much these qualities were needed in the world. I watched the new feminine genius, observing it, receiving it, and admiring it. And then I gained stealthy admiration when I moved into the working world. I saw what feminine collaboration brought to the bottom line of commercial projects. I dealt with workplace domination and ego, like we all did. And still, I watched what looked like magic, how women could turn a situation around, could tame the lions, the way they used their natural gifts to serve the whole in the best way. I saw both humble power and fierce power. I heard profound voices and timeless wisdom from them. I found my voice. And I've seen healings and successes by women for women. And I want to honor all that women bring to the world. I've been teaching the skills of the new feminine genius for 20 plus years, including that of intuitive and sensory development, channeling universal frequencies, and how to see the big picture of our lives. And what is speaking to me now is coming from the mother in me, from raising 3 kids who are grown adults, and now being a grandmother. Over the last several decades, I've worked with thousands of people, and I saw the sacred masculine and the divine feminine were largely out of balance in all genders. The rapid changes over the decades had thrown all of us out of whack. Few knew who they really were anymore or what they really wanted. And the way of getting things done was in need of a huge overhaul. The natural feminine instincts, whether one is birthed children or not, have applications in the wider world and in whole spectrum leadership. Over the decades of mentoring and teaching, a great many have told me in their own words, I've skipped forward a few decades from being stuck in the past. Or through you seeing me, I see myself now like never before, and it's changed everything. This is what and how I coach the new feminine geniuses for whole spectrum leadership for our evolving future. So why I'm creating this event? I invite you to rise above the challenges that we are going through on the planet right now and focus on the potent skills and knowings and abilities that the feminine genius brings. I invite you to stand with us. Let us stand together in the knowing that we can get things done in this world. We've done it before in history. We continue to do it more and more each year, and we can rise even more. And it is time. We can fully embody our inherent power here. No limitations, no squashing, no wondering what is possible. We can bring our genius together. There is power in synergy, coming together collectively, the synergy of the energy we are born with. We do have the ability to tap back into ourselves, to feel the pulse of our soul and our alignment with what we are meant to do. Once again, feeling the uniqueness we each bring to the world, recognize it and honor it and express it, and then bring it together for the ingenuity and the co-creation that will carry humanity to a new level of consciousness. As we coalesce with our uniquenesses, we'll supercharge solutions that are needed right now, not the old paradigm way. We're done with that. We're ready to truly blossom the new ideas in the ways that matter most now, in the way that will sprout your own contributions with powerful synergy into the world. The women that you'll hear from this week simply started with an idea, and through feminine genius, gathered resonant souls and raw resources to create solutions together, and side by side are changing the world. I'm thrilled to offer this convergence of feminine brilliance to you. And what I wish for you this week is the confidence and the energy to bring your unique qualities to share with humanity, be it creativity, humor, or mad planning and executing skills, that you feel the synergy of the sisterhood that you're an integral part of, and the spark, the ignition, and the fuel for your own purpose in life. And that you experience the repowerment of your own feminine genius that will inspire solutions for yourself and the work that you carry forth in the world. May you benefit from the sisterhood within. Now, let's dive into a profile of the new feminine genius. What is it all about? Well, you have a genius that is very unique to you. In addition, the feminine genius within you likely still lays largely unexpressed. Women have a particular form of genius that is yet untapped. And this is a type of genius that the world is ready for now more than ever before. Humanity used to draw wisdom from what was learned from the past. And that was very valuable for thousands of years, and we still gain from those experiences. But we don't mimic the old paradigm patterns anymore. Rather, new humans draw from the future now. The new feminine genius is definitely not about the status quo, but rather comes from the blueprint you were born with. We are conditioned to focus on the headlines and the rhetoric of the status quo. We're bombarded with memes and satire that saturate our consciousness underneath the radar of our rational minds. We're conditioned to think of issues through the lens of what we see in the headlines and posts that flood in and hide out in our subconscious. But these thoughts and beliefs are heavily embedded with negativity from our past and victim stories we've learned from others and intergenerational trauma. You hold the new genius keys of co-creation, community, coherence, and mind-body integration for both yourself and for the world. Globally, we continue to face many challenges, from the pandemic to wars, and in every sector of life, including politics, business, and health. We still largely lean on the old paradigms of problem solving. The feminine approach to problem solving has been arising in classrooms, boardrooms, and situation rooms. And we are coming to understand from a higher perspective, a bird's eye view in consciousness, that the feminine approach to problem solving is restoring an integral balance to solutions for the world. We juggle more now than ever before in human history: work, business ownership, mothering, community activism, handywoman. We're still supporting the education of young in the schools and their activities and working tirelessly to save the environment. And we've learned a lot from this juggling. The skills of deep insight through the wisdom of intuition are bringing expanded perspectives and wider options for creativity in decision making. The third way is replacing the confinement of either or thinking. Circular organization is replacing hierarchy. Collaboration is reestablishing the balance of power. Attention to harmony for all is restoring compassion and goodwill. We know co-creation over domination. Feminine values treasure life itself above all. And these skills are valuable for the upliftment of women and the renewal of humanity. They open the doors to ingenuity and creative solutions that fit the cutting edge climate that we're navigating in these uncertain times. It is time for balance, and women can lead us forward, bringing an influence and infusion of balance through many varied skills and insights for whole spectrum peace, for abundance, for both sovereignty and collaboration at the same time. Remember that those who have the most balanced presence bring ease to those around them. The new feminine genius cultivates this ease, not to be underrated. Female thought leaders are heralding this new feminine genius from the grassroots, from those mothers with deep wisdom who are nurturing children who will institute the solutions of our future, to those who are bringing solutions from evolved models of organization and co-creation. This synergy from the collective is bringing newly cultivated skills for an up-leveled consciousness and well-being to the planet. While there are many aspects to the new feminine genius, the foundation is about whole spectrum consciousness, balancing the inner ego with the global collective, balancing our experiences from the past with what is arising from the evolutionary impulse for our future, and allowing the rising original feminine, the Crone's wisdom of life, blended with the evolving experience of humanity that is rapidly barreling forward, changing by the moment, for synergy and depth of knowing that creates the skills to solve the problems that lay before us as we continue forward in these transformational times. Solutions can no longer come from biased, piecemeal, broken, or disintegrated thoughts and actions. Our collective consciousness is ready to leave behind the limits of patriarchy and hierarchy. We have evolved into a global society, past beliefs that do not and cannot serve a flourishing future for women. New feminine leadership dissolves the separations and opens the doors to whole spectrum solutions for the individual, adapting and navigating a new way forward and evolving human health and wellness, to those in education, in business, environmental issues, and those cultivating personal and global peace, forging the path ahead for all of us. The evolution of consciousness itself right now is leaning into the new feminine genius. This is the trajectory we find ourselves on in the 21st century. We're slowly moving into resolving global issues from the old mindset of bloodshed into discussion and nonviolence. Domination is being lightened up by collaboration. Heart intelligence is coming into view, along with our intuition, our knowing, and our visioning. And it's all about true integration right now. And it's about taking it seriously. Few organizations from small to large take balance seriously. It's time to bring these formally into our solution problem solving from the personal all the way out to the global. There are a plethora of avenues to cultivate the new feminine genius. And while we are limited in the scope of time allowed in this particular talk, I'm going to be hosting a gathering on the 21st to dive much deeper into the embodiment and cultivation and the great many more characteristics that make up the new feminine genius. You'll find a Zoom link on my speaker page that will give you direct access to be with us that day. But there's still a whole lot more to cover here. Coming together collectively is the highest pathway to a healthy future. Why? Because consciousness amps up genius when in groups, where two or more are gathered. Female consciousness is about collaboration. It's about giving and receiving. And together we weave a synergy of feminine brilliance. So what are some of the characteristics of the new feminine genius? The new feminine genius seeks integration at all levels of consciousness. At the foundation is the true integration of mind and body and spirit. The integration of her authenticity, her real desires, her real voice, her real expression are paramount for personal fulfillment and success that will ripple forward to family, community, and sacred mission into all the work and projects that follow. She seeks the solutions that nurture the future. This comes from eons of child rearing, of literally having raised humanity. She brings wholeness and happiness and healing for all, rather than the us, them, or the me competition. It's about fostering flow and inspiration and bringing inclusivity and cooperation. It's about ingenuity, no more hard and fast rules. It's time for creativity to blossom in order to surpass the obsolete patterns of the past. The new feminine genius can multitask. We know this, right? But we hadn't necessarily considered it to be the superpower that it actually is. And likewise, she is multi-perspectival so that she can see all sides of the issues. This makes for a higher level of diplomacy and well-balanced solutions, not to mention the allowing of originality and greatly expanded resourcefulness that comes to light from within this state of consciousness. Wisdom comes from the integration of multi-perspectives. This makes whole perspectives, and after all, we live in a whole world. The ability to receive is really right at the top of the list. And why is this important? The feminine blueprint that you were born with included an important balance for human evolution, the ability to receive. This energetic became wildly perverted over millennia, causing deterioration of balance between the giving and receiving of the feminine. This resulted in the fallout to equality and worthiness that continues to plague humanity's struggle to find dignity and ultimately peace for all. Energetically, the receiving of resources for nonprofits and small businesses and individuals is often blocked subconsciously because we've largely been programmed to give rather than receive. I worked with hundreds of groups reestablishing an ability to receive once again and restore dignity and worth and health and inspiration to countless lives and missions across the planet. A balance of both giving and receiving enhances co-creation immeasurably. It brings flow to collaborations. It brings radiance to health. And what benefits the new feminine genius ultimately ripples out to temper and benefit humanity. So does the receiving of intuitive insights and receiving rest, receiving compassion as well as giving it. This balance brings strength and action and connection and solutions. We're all in this together, and collectively, we have the ability to right the apple cart now. The new feminine genius is also a synthesizer, recognizing the value to the whole that each can add. We are not afraid to share or to be together, to allow the emergence of the impulse of life itself to arise among us, knowing that all offerings bring brilliant synergy. We are alchemists. We blend rather than divide. We assimilate rather than splinter. We hear the cries, and we know how to feed souls. We have heart intelligence. We operate from the inner wisdom of the heart, the mother heart that has raised humanity from its origins. We know how to connect rather than monopolize, how to inspire rather than control. We have the inherent ability to vision, to see, to know what is not visible. We can illuminate the darkness and see the long game and inspire humanity forward toward that. We have the courage to allow the new. Our inner knowing is not afraid of love. We heal. We can reinstate the beauty of creation. We bring the light. We keep humanity loved. We make choices for the good of the whole. We know what matters. These are skills that can be cultivated and honored for wholeness in life and mission. It will take taking it seriously and honoring our inherent blueprint, the new feminine genius that is back again. These are but a few, and the qualities of the new feminine genius are truly immense. Deeper consciousness practices open the gates for brilliance to arise and to be recognized. Now, there is an advanced level of consciousness that comes into play here when we talk about the embodiment of these qualities and characteristics. Credit to quantum physics and consciousness studies. There is a world of frequencies that make up our energy fields, and how we manage our fields brings huge advantages to your life and work. This is all tied into mind-body integration. It brings top health, it opens up ingenuity, it brings flow to your missions. Through the study of epigenetics, we know that our bodies take direction from our minds, and we can cultivate practices to achieve this balance in our minds, bodies, and spirit. These practices are not benign, and they're not only for relaxation and focus, they're also for supercharging your unique genius, giving you amplified capacity to navigate in life. You can easily learn how to anchor the frequencies that you choose into your energy field, and this will be felt by others. I've always taught that your energy field is your calling card. People feel your field before they ever know your name. Right now, I'd like to just take a pause for reflection on all that you've heard so far. So close your eyes for a moment here and let us take a long, very slow, deep breath in. Feel yourself inviting the impulse of life to come into you for refreshment, for renewal, for clarity. Letting yourself release very fully. Give yourself this brief moment to integrate all the concepts we're talking about here. And with your eyes closed, breathing very easily, Begin to think about your own feminine genius that you've glimpsed in your life. Maybe when you were a girl and you wrote that poem that held so much meaning in it. Maybe you realized the ability you had to nurture others, to support them when they needed it, to be there and recognize the life impulse in them, and to love them and to encourage them. Your superpower. Maybe it was your ability to speak with enthusiasm, an amazing skill. Maybe you had an intuition or knowing along the way. Let yourself reflect. Whatever it is for you, it is to be recognized, to be truly honored, and for you to know that this is what can ultimately contribute solutions to the world. Yes, even that thing that you may have passed off or forgotten about. These are qualities that are coming back into view for humanity as we find our way back in again. And staying in this state, ask yourself, which of your feminine genius qualities is wanting to be expressed lately, has been nudging to be finally heard, to become visible on your path ahead? Let your heart speak to you now. Which of your qualities is wanting to be heard, to be seen? What sector of life and mission is beckoning you right now? Likely in addition to whatever good work you're currently doing. The impulse of life, of evolution, is always guiding our attention to what's next. Without judgment, let yourself open up to what is there. Whether it's broad or specific, doesn't matter. What matters is that you allow yourself to see. What's getting your attention about life out there? What may be coming to mind for you right now is something that you want to let go of to make that happen. What is one traditional role or task that you can let go of now, however small or large? Just one. What is ready to go right now? And this may come more easily to you. We more often know what we can let go of. So, what is new in your heart? What is new in your vision of the future? Always asking yourself, what is new? Your heart connects to the collective, always to the global in one way or another. And this is your humanitarian contribution to make. It's connected to the new genius that's wanting to arise and be in the world now. So what is one aspect of your genius that can be unleashed now? And allow your truth to arise for yourself in this moment. And you can come back to these for more reflection later. And just allowing it to swirl and assimilate within. So let's take another slow, slow breath in. Just feeling that glimmer of authenticity that's opened up for you in this brief time. And no worries about the how right now. This is just the arising. Another breath in as you open your eyes. Just come back to center, feeling your inspiration in this moment. So you can see what openings and gleanings can come with just a brief tapping into your feminine genius. And there's so much more to learn about embodiment practices and managing your energy fields and interactions with others, and about unleashing your inner genius. So as we start to wind up now, I want to invite you to the gathering, this free open gathering I'll be hosting on the 21st of July on the new feminine genius, where we'll have the opportunity to dive very deep into the qualities, the characteristics, the skills, the embodiment, and you'll get to sink into an extended experiential journey into the infusion of many frequencies that make up the new feminine genius. We're going to be immersing into the understanding of how to cultivate this genius and how to embody it. So it's a very unique experience. And this free gift is listed on my speaker page. You can pick up that link and definitely plan to join us. You can also find all the speakers this week on the schedule at creatrixconvergence.com/event-schedule. And if you want to go back to pick up the wisdom from the week, or you missed some interviews entirely, you can purchase lifetime access at creatrixconvergence.com/lifetime-access. So in closing now, I'd just like to say, your unique heart and knowing and skills are powerful and are relevant right now to humanity. As you bring your unique feminine genius to the world, you will heal and the planet will heal. Your presence with us matters. And together we have the opportunity to rebirth those areas of life that matter the most to us. It's up to us to uplift each other, to see each other, and to support the uniqueness that we each bring to Mother Earth at this pivotal time for the collective feminine voice to be heard. It's through this wisdom that new solutions required on the planet will be birthed. The evolutionary impulse is prompting us to find greater wholeness from within ourselves to the global collaborative stage, shaping the leadership that's required for traversing the new future for our species to thrive. So let us embrace our collective feminine genius together in sisterhood for a new way of leading forward. And so for now, I want to thank you for being with me in this very sacred space. I'm sending heartfelt warmth to you. And until we meet again, be well. Enjoy.